The charger icon on her glossy red Tesla turned green, and my phone app gave me the kind of control I never thought I'd actually use in real life. You know what I mean? That tiny digital lever between being a nice neighbor and just flat out standing up for yourself. I dragged the slider up, up till it hit max, and right then the inverter under my eaves started to sing, this deep metal hum, crawling into my bones. The porch light flickered. The air smelled like hot dust. Karen stood across my driveway, arms folded, daring me, the orange cord snaking from her car to my outlet like a stealing hand. Her car's screen flashed, bright as a little sun, and the whole street went silent, like every porch was holding its breath. The Tesla chirped, first soft, then angry, and it cut the night like a whistle. My app warned, high output. Her eyes went wide. My thumb hovered. I held it there. That was the moment the HOA story became my story, when all the kindness and patience, every polite letter, ran smack into a bright red car that didn't belong on my power. The meter on my wall spun like a coin. Somewhere, my main breaker clicked, just as the Tesla's alarm burst into a scream, and the house across the street blinked off. A shadow moved behind my oak tree, and someone hissed my name. Ethan. Everything froze. The charger thumped. The screen flashed. Then static, a sharp pop, and the night broke open. How did we get here? I swear it started simple. The sun over our little slice of Maple Ridge, clapboard houses, neat yards, mailboxes all lined up. Like tin soldiers. Mia, my wife, said it felt like a postcard. I said it felt like a coin toss. In places like this, you either find your people or you find a rulebook. We found both. The community council, HOA, handed us a basket with cookies and a book of rules thick as a novel, and a list of paint colors so bland they all looked beige. The president, Brian Thompson, shook my hand with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Solar, he said, reading my shirt. We love solar here, Ethan. Looks great in the newsletter. I do solar for a living. Engineering, not sales. Built my whole roof system myself, 12 panels, smart inverter, charger in the garage. On good days, the meter runs backward. Makes me feel like the sun's my partner. We met Karen over the hedge. She was straight out of a neighbor brochure. Neat ponytail, tennis visor, water bottle with a straw, looking over our panels and calling them cute. She bragged about her Model Y. We exchanged muffins and lists of lawn services. She said, "Welcome to the neighborhood," so many times it started to sound like a rule. Summer came, panels pouring out power, and on a hot Tuesday, my app pinged. Unexpected load spike. Nothing in the house was running heavy. The garage cam, a tiny pinhole I hid just to keep an eye on tools, showed a sneaky orange cord running across the drive and a glossy red Tesla parked right up front. Rewind. There's Karen, tugging the cord from her car, glancing around, plugging into my exterior outlet, the one I kept live for my truck vac. She smiled and strolled off, like she'd just watered a plant. Mia said, "There has to be a mistake." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to say, "We help neighbors," because my dad used to run cords across the yard during storms. We're a community, we share. So I unplugged the cord and wrote a note. "Hey Karen, I think this is yours. Please don't use our outlet without asking. Happy to help, just knock." I taped it to the cord, left it on her porch, and went back to work feeling like I'd done the right thing. That night, we got a letter in the mailbox. No stamp, no signature, just folded and tucked. Under the flag. "Dear homeowner, exterior outlets must be covered when not in use. For community safety and appearance. HOA compliance." Okay, fine. I bought a cover, printed a little private outlet, "Please ask" sign, set the app to alert if the circuit pulled more than a trickle. That should have been it. Except at 2:14 a.m., my app buzzed. Unexpected load spike. I peeked out, street dark. Moon fat and low, porches quiet. Down the drive, a little red glow behind the hedge. There it was, orange cord, Tesla, lid hanging open, Karen standing under the streetlight in her visor. "Hey," I called soft. "Please don't do that." She didn't turn. "It's just 10 minutes. Everyone shares." I said, "Just ask. Please." She wrapped the cord slow, slipped it in her trunk. "The HOA told me. Outlets look tacky," she said. "You should cover that." I did. "You opened it." "It was open." "Well, now it is." Beep. She locked her car and walked away. Mia put her hand on my arm. Mercy. First, she said. So I bought a lockable cover, aimed a camera at the outlet, told myself it would blow over. People are good when you give them a chance. 2 days later, another letter. Your solar panels are reflecting into a neighbor's windows. Please angle them responsibly. Angle the sun? I laughed, flipped burgers at the block party, tried kindness. Karen told Brian my rosemary was too tall. He wrote it down. I waved back because that's what you do. Weeks passed. The alerts came less often, but sometimes the lid would be open, no cord. Sometimes a soft chirp at night. I wanted to believe it was all in my head. But then, one Wednesday, the camera caught Karen, visor down, unlocking the outlet cover with a key. She plugged in, patted the lid like it was hers, and her car lit up green. I saved the clip. I emailed the HOA, polite and careful. Their reply? Exterior cameras must not face the street. They didn't mention the theft. I went to the meeting with screenshots, wearing a clean polo, tried to be calm. Brian folded his hands, thanked me for my enthusiasm. But extension cords across sidewalks are a tripping hazard. The cord isn't mine, I said. That's the point. You should secure your property, he said. We're all responsible. She has a key to my outlet. Karen raised her hand. I feel attacked. He brags about his power. I just borrowed a little. He wants special treatment. Brian looked at the rules. Please point your camera away and consider a friendlier approach. A friendlier approach? So I did. Baked cookies. Wrote, EV charging etiquette 101. Offered to help install her own outlet. She smiled, took the cookies. Next night, 2 a.m., alert again. Watched her plug in, watched the kilowatts tick higher. I felt something in me stand up straighter. I went outside, asked calmly. She said, if you didn't want people to use it, you shouldn't have put it where everyone can see. My dad used to say just ask. She laughed. Your dad should have joined the real world. Unplug it, I said. Make me. I unplugged it. She plugged it back. On off, on off. The Tesla chirped with each move. This won't end how you think, she said. Next morning, a fine in my mailbox, $154, tampering with neighborhood peace. Not her, us. I called my dad. He said, mercy doesn't mean giving away your roof. Make the truth plain. I wrote one more letter to Karen. I'll help you install your own outlet. Or we can set a fair rate for emergencies. But plug in again without asking. I'll protect my property. No harm, but very clear this isn't for you. She didn't reply. That night, the app buzzed. Unexpected load spike. Mia said, be careful. I said, I'm going to tell the truth with light. I pulled up the control panel, thought about Noah sleeping in his rocket pajamas, about how you can be kind and strong at the same time. I slid the control up, firm, within the rules. The inverter hummed. The porch light flickered. The Tesla's screen flashed. Karen stepped from the shadows. What are you doing? Protecting my outlet. That's illegal. Her voice wobbled. The Tesla's alarm jumped to full volume. Headlights flashed. Dogs woke. Porch lights came on like eyes. Turn it off. No, I'm making it clear. Neighbors in pajamas, Brian in his robe, Mrs. Patel with her cat, all blinking in the bright. I held the setting, a line in the sand. The breaker clicked. The outlet cut out. The cord drooped. The Tesla went quiet. That's when a shadow peeled away from the oak tree and hissed. Ethan. Someone holding my missing outlet key, a face I didn't expect, and blue lights rounding the corner as the police arrived, slow as a shark fin. Mia's voice from the doorway. Ethan, don't say a word. Everything teetered on that edge, the truth finally too loud to ignore. And, I guess that's where I'll leave you, because the real question isn't about stolen kilowatts or HOA fines, or even aliens falling out of the sky, because, trust me, that night got a whole lot stranger after those blue lights showed up. But whether a neighborhood learns to protect its own light, whether that means electricity, or just the ability to trust the folks on your block, without letting kindness turn you into a doormat. So what would you do? Where's your line between being a good neighbor and being taken for a ride? Drop your answer in the comments. Let's see whose side you're on. And hey, while you're at it, hit that like, share this story, and tell me, is justice about being fair or just being first?